What you're about to listen to is part of the Podgods Network. If you go to podgodsnetwork.com, you'll find other great shows there too. If you have a problem with this or any other show, please write it in an email. And go fuck yourself. Have a nice day!
Alright, you primitive screwheads, listen up!
But more of the R-rated film that most other people do. There's some salty language in it and shit like that.
We work very well together, okay?
Gruesome twosome!
Gruesome twosome!
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
These guys are laughing.
I'm here for the gangbang.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Inconceivable!
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Set no substitutes.
Hey, enthusiasts, guess who's back? If you said
Back
me and Tony,
again.
You're absolutely correct. And we know that you've missed Salty Language. This is episode I don't even know, from missing a week. 176. 177, you're right. Jeez, I'm all over the place.
Did I fail to mention this is the sexiest podcast, and it's back in your motherfucking ears?
No, but what you did was build up anticipation by waiting just a tad longer.
That's
Built up a sense of urgency in people. They were just like, I just need, they're just, raging with urgency.
Raging.
Throbbing even, maybe.
Throbbing, yes. I mean, after that long break we took, my podcast dick is blue ball.
I would say mine does, but there's other things filtering through mine. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll get to that. Well, I guess first off, the reason there was no show last week was, there should have been a show because once again we put out a gem, as you know, because that's what we do. And second of all, it was all me. It was hashtag More Brian episode 2.
Boy,
which
the old technical difficulties strike again.
And I forgot I was going to put up the picture from The Simpsons from the one episode where I think like Krusty goes violent or something, where it's the picture of the guy where the cameraman where he's all like drunk looking and it says technical difficulties.
That would have been awesome.
I kept forgetting. And I'll tell you, if we ever totally rebrand this podcast, that's got to be in consideration for our name.
What, technical difficulty?
Yeah, for all the crap we've dealt with over the time. Because these fine folks listening probably have zero idea about a lot of what we've dealt with.
Oh, boy. I do believe we could sum it up with 2 words, Brian.
Shit show.
I was going to go clusterfuck, but all right.
All right, I think either are acceptable.
It's very much, half the time getting our podcast going is like watching a monkey fuck a football.
Well, I described our show the other day as, oh shit, I can't even remember now. Oh, if like a train wreck and an orgy had a kid.
Ooh.
I was like, I kind of think that sums us up pretty well.
That sounds like a great movie. Orgy Train? Or a sweet Transformer.
Couldn't it just be like Train Squared?
No, I like Orgy Train.
Okay, I'm just saying, you're running a train. It's anyway.
He like forms up like, Devastator, but it's like an orgy.
Yeah, it does. Oh, no. All right, so again, we're back. This is episode, I forgot already, 177.
177, God damn it.
So anyway, so that was the first reason that we didn't have a show last week. And then we were like, you know what? Well, actually, the reason was like I uploaded the file because I was like, hey, Tony, I need you to upload the file because I'm heading to the ER.
I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm busy doing nothing at home.
So, Yeah, I had to go to the ER because I found out I had a kidney stone, which was all sorts of fun. Just,
I imagine.
I can't describe how much fun that was. Yeah, I can. It was just excruciating. And it turns out that even though I was in enough pain that I almost ripped my own face off, our friend Oz told me afterward that, I'm quite lucky because I was like, well, the kidney stone seems small. I should be able to pass it. No big deal. Whatever. And he's like, you're really lucky. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really feel so lucky. And then he was like, well, it could have been worse. They could have had to, go in and laser it apart and,
They just sent in that little ship from asteroids to break it into little pieces.
It's not going to be my luck. First of all, it'll be a suppository, and it'll be huge. And
well, old graphics, it was a pretty big ship.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll take that as a win because, in the grand scheme, it really is a win that, it wasn't worse than it was, even though sweet
it could have been like an Easter Island thing.
Fuck. I'll tell you, I can't and don't want to imagine how it could have been worse as far as the pain level was.
Right.
So, yeah. So that was, so we were thinking that, Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever it was, we were like, we can.
Tuesday, yeah. We're like, well, we're going to fire up a quick episode.
That's right. And I'm like, I'll power through it, even if it's, we sit for an hour or something, got to get something out. And then I was like, wow, I'm still in an enormous amount of pain. So, yeah, that didn't happen. So here we are.
Yeah, I mean, we threw up a little best of, some little meat scraps for people to eat up.
Right. We're always willing to throw meat scraps out.
Exactly. There ain't scraps, though.
By scraps, you mean T-bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's an appropriate sound drop for Soundboard T right there.
I know. I really need a Soundboard T just drop.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here we are, back in the saddle.
Yep.
Podcasting our faces off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what a week this has been, though.
It's been something, all right.
Let's go back to where, we podcasted. The last time we recorded was 2 weeks ago on a Thursday.
On a Thursday,
yeah. And then, because Friday there were things, and Saturday it was like, we're gonna go be the old guys at the rock show.
not the oldest though.
Not at all. Not even close. Even we actually
Jesus.
fit in decently there. So we went to see the band the Swellers, who we've referenced plenty of times on the show, as it was their final Detroit show, which sad trombone inserted here.
Damn it!
You didn't have it queued up, did you?
I don't have it.
That's all right.
I had it at one time. That's what angers me.
It's all right. I got enough heartbreak. I don't need the sound drop. So we went to see them play at a place called the Magic Stick in the D.
Awesome venue.
Which we get almost there, and we're like, holy shit show, there's just everybody's here. Like in Detroit. That place
was crazy.
Crazy busy. Well, we didn't know, and I saw the Swellers tweeted this out later. Well, I knew about the Noel night, which is a festive Christmas whatnot thing they had going on in Detroit for the uppity-ear crowd, and not for the people who keeps it reals like us.
Word.
And also, apparently, there were some of the Ferguson sympathy protests going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that at all, and they tweeted that, and I looked into it. I was like, oh, we weren't really near where that was happening, but we weren't that far, because, a lot of that stuff's all just that whole area was just jam-packed with people.
I can only assume RoboCop kept them all in line.
I think so.
Yeah, because RoboCop.
Right. So, yeah, we went and got some, good cases of tinnitus, got our faces melted off by some bands.
Tinnitus, yes.
I certainly did, man. It was, whew.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, maybe I'm bringing earplugs to concerts.
Fuck that. That's
maybe
just
I'll
not
be
going to
that
happen.
guy.
I'm not. No, I can't do that.
I'm in bed here.
Every time I looked around and saw somebody with earplugs, I wanted to just rip them out of their ears. Listen, I know they're being smart and it's good for you. Come on, man. I just can't.
You're saying your hearing's too far gone?
Huh?
Exactly.
Oh, man. It was funny because at that concert, the first band that came out, who were the Braidedveins, and again, I'll openly admit, I had no idea who any of these other bands were, except the Swellers. And Braidedveins came out, and they just, like, from second one, they were just, like, kicked us right in the face with the rock and or roll music.
Right.
As the kids say. And
Indeed.
I was like, wow, this is a way better band than any opener I've probably ever seen.
Yeah, they were great.
And I was like, you know what, I'm thinking to myself, well, people probably, the Swellers probably, were like, hey, let's get the best show we can get together, for these send-off shows, and, so maybe you have higher level acts playing,
Right.
And it turns out that the Braidedveins are actually a conglomerate of, their drummer is the drummer from the Swellers, the one guitar player is from a band that we saw later in the night called Kid Brother Collective. The other guys are from, I forgot to write down bands, but other bands that are like some pretty well-respected in the area kind of punk bands. And now they're like Voltron.
Nice. Or Devastator.
Oh, man, I almost had to change my britches after them. They were pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
So then Loose Plains came up, and honestly, I know we both had the same thought of that Pearl Jam was about to play because we made various jokes of it. But they were pretty good, though. They were nothing like Pearl Jam whatsoever. But
no, except the look.
Yeah, the lead
very
singer.
Very flannelly, very long hair, Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. But again, there wasn't a band on this card that turned out that I was like, they were okay.
Right, it was a solid lineup.
And I'll tell you, aside from the Swellers, maybe my favorite band of the night was after Loose Plains was the Fullblast.
Yeah, they were really good too.
I didn't know they had disbanded like years ago. I guess they couldn't keep a constant roster and various other things.
Semantic show.
Oh, like they're hearing this. Jerks. No. But boy, first of all, the first thing about the Fullblast is as they're coming out on the stage for to get all their gear set up and everything, is I see this one guitarist. He's got a neck brace on, and I don't mean like those stupid little foam neck braces. He's got like the full on I can't turn my head neck brace,
like a legit
and
armored up neck brace.
And I'm like, that is fucking metal right there. He's coming out to play rock and roll music in a neck brace.
Yes, dedication to his craft.
And they were pretty damn amazing. It looks like they might actually be doing some like getting back together and recording because they had disbanded.
He's got paid for a neck brace. I mean, shit.
Right. It looks like they've done a couple of the shows with the Swellers on this tour, and people are getting all tingly in their lower regions about.
Like, what's funny about that is I was, probably 2 days later, I was looking up videos because I wanted to like maybe see if there was something I wanted to throw on our website. When we talked about this. Mm-hmm. And I put in Fullblast, and someone has a video from that show up on YouTube already, which is fine.
Right.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it's Neck Brace Guy. I recognize the way that lighting's set up. We were just there.
Yep. The Swellers actually on their page, they've got a decent amount of pictures from the night that people had posted. Like, the Fullblast, it was funny because...
Because what now? Because of the neck brace? Because of distractions? Yes. Tell your producers to cut it out, Brian.
I know. Lost my train of thoughts.
Fullblast.
Yeah.
It was funny. It's gone.
It's pretty... Oh, actually, when you look them up, and we'll have links to their stuff, in with the normal show notes and such, they actually are listed, like, I think on Twitter or Facebook at, like, the Fullblast RIP.
Oh, that's entertaining.
Yeah. There's actually, it's tough to find their stuff because it looks like a lot of the stuff was taken down.
Right.
Which is, kind of disturbing because I was like, oh, I just stumbled onto them and now I'm going to have a hard time finding anything of theirs.
Yeah, right.
And I really enjoyed them. Kid Brother Collective came on, and those guys, boy...
I was under the impression they were going to play something different because they all looked like a bunch of guys that meet up in the garage, have a few beers, a couple dads.
They look
work on a lawnmower and pick up a guitar and strum a little.
This is in no disrespect to them, but they did look like a dad jam band.
Yes,
and dude, they came up, and as soon as they started on their guitars, I'm like, wow, he just kicked me right in the ass.
Yep, exactly.
They came
Who
out.
knew Dad could rock?
Well, apparently all these other bands, because they were all like, these guys are influential
like
to
the
us.
reason I'm playing.
Yeah. So I was like, fair enough. Am I missing anything you want to throw in here? Aside from the people watching, we can do that a little
we'll
separate. I'm just talking
watching. Let's talk about the bands. So, yeah, you're doing a fine job. Keep it up.
And then the Swellers came on, and and anyone who wasn't there with us missed their opportunity to hear me fucking yelling at the top of my lungs. And they came out and just. I've seen them a couple times here. You just really felt that they were putting everything they had out.
Right.
You've seen plenty of bands, but man, they really felt like they were they were laying it all out there for us.
For sure.
And it was so cool because I thought it was great that you could feel how much the crowd, not only appreciated it, but reciprocated it.
Well, you could tell that the crowd was definitely huge.
That crowd was into a bunch of those bands, actually, but the Fullblast, dude, that crowd was going crazier.
Diving.
Yeah, I haven't either. Yeah,
that was some.
Nick from the Swellers nearly got kicked in the face. I don't know if you saw that or not. But
for sure.
Dude cartwheeled right past him, and he barely got his head out of the way. People were shoving the guys from the Swellers out of the way so that they could run back and jump into the crowd and
hopping up and singing, which was hilarious.
Which was a cool moment. There at one point they had two or three people up on stage with them, singing with them, and not because they invited them up, but because of stage diving.
Because they were just there.
It was. But again, it's your last Detroit show. It's like, who cares?
I liked when they brought the house lights up and they pulled everyone together to do a selfie with the crowd.
Right.
Because everybody squeezed up to the stage, and I just hear behind me this little lady's voice. You're too tall. You're too tall to be in front of me.
It's like, listen, unless you're in the front, 2 rows, you're not getting in that picture. Because they've been doing them at all their final stops, and I've seen a bunch of them now. And that's why I was like, there's no chance in hell you and I are in this picture. We're not close enough. We were fairly close, but we weren't close enough.
Well, plus we don't really stick out, bearded white guys.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. When they played the last song of their set and then they walked off the stage, and I'm like, well, obviously this isn't it because they didn't say thank you or anything. They just walked off the stage, and I'm like, there's no way. They're gonna come out and do the encore because the crowd wants it. And dude, when Nick came out with the one guitar and he just starts playing Stars. All acoustic and I'm like, oh, come on, because it's again, there's no way in hell this is the last song, because he's up there just ripping everybody's hearts out,
right?
Because that song is, like he said, it's the last song written, and it's basically a farewell song, and I was like, oh, come on, and then they came back and played, damn it, I can't remember the one song they played, Best I Ever Had. That was the final song. And, man, the crowd was going stupid on that one. Because everybody, I think, knew that was it.
Right.
It's like, listen, if you got anything left in the tank,
here it is.
Time to put it all out there. And, boy, those animals in front of us were. Because we were on just the outer fringe of the crowd surfing. We nearly got, someone thrown into us a couple of times.
Yeah, I kind of had to keep throwing my arms up, getting ready to shove dudes back into the pit.
Meanwhile, I was strategically placed using Tony as a human shield as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm too old to go mix it up in the pit.
Oh, me too. I thought about it for a minute there, and then I was like, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah,
I'm too goddamn old for that.
For this shit.
I'll just stay a row or two back from that, and I'll be
exactly.
right where I want to be.
We're like the crowded pit fighter.
Yeah.
If they get thrown
absolutely.
in, we toss them back.
It's I just want to be close enough to go deaf, but not close enough to get injured.
Right, exactly.
That's exactly where I want to be. That's the sweet spot at age 36, folks.
Yes, for sure.
So yeah, I could not have been happier on the music end of it. Just
it was a great night, great show. I've got a couple.
We drank all the PBRs.
I got a couple of negatives.
Okay. That's
That's
kind of funny. You're bringing the negatives. Meanwhile, I walked out of there going, I haven't had a night like this in forever.
Oh, no, they're not that bad.
Okay.
But they had a great beer selection, although it was a little pricey.
Yeah, it was.
But eventually, we're just drinking PBRs. That's my first problem.
Right, and that was a financial decision for sure. Because if we could have got...
Well, it was a little financial, and it was also a little I need to drink lower octane stuff.
Oh,
I'm gonna have a couple more beers.
That's probably also
I do need
true.
to get us home. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
So that was one problem. My second problem was all ages show.
Yeah.
Because you're like, whoa, look at that smoking chick. And she turns around and you're like, oh my God, she's probably 16.
Right. And as we discussed a bit, it's deceptive because at the punk rock crowd tends to be like the scrawnier kids.
Yes.
So when you see the short girls that are scrawny, it really, you know, it's kind of like,
until you go look at the face, you're like, oh God.
It's like, I'm still not sure. I mean, there were a couple there that, you know, 100% no question were, you know, the type that live up on the, you know, mountains and stalk animals.
For sure.
Cougars.
Rawr. But yeah, I mean, that was my only negatives. I've never been a huge fan of All We Just Show anyway, because know, fucking kids annoy me.
Also true.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you know, and it was funny because you know, when we were there and we made comments various points, and I was like, you know, one of the things I like about this crowd is I'm bigger than a lot of these people.
Yeah, I mean, all the various punk shows I've been to, that's the one thing I've always noticed is they're a tiny crowd.
Yeah,
you feel like, you know, like you're walked into some sort of elven village or something.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm towering over people in here because there were people I was literally towering over.
Yeah,
because some of those people
there
were really small. Short
I mean, there was a
people.
couple big lummoxes walking around.
There certainly
too,
were. There were a couple of them I wanted no part of, but there were also a couple of guys that were like trying to like drunkenly force their way toward the like pit area or whatever, or just try to shove me out of the way, and I just kind of gave them the "not going to happen, pal" look. Like, no, you're not big enough.
But the venue was awesome. It was above a bowling alley.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even talk about that.
A pizza place.
Which was also attached to a bar.
Which was also attached to a bar. But the bowling alley was cool.
It was.
Because it was probably 12 lanes, 15 lanes?
Yeah, something like that, 12 or 14, yeah.
But the center section of lanes had a stage above, and there was a band playing, which I've never seen
I'm
before.
not sure I'd call it a band. It was one guy singing all by myself.
Well, there's a guy like on the drums behind him.
Yeah, I know. It was funny when he was singing all by himself. All by himself up there.
And he was all by himself.
But it was funny because it's like, I'm standing there, because, you know, I'm a man who enjoys his bowling also, and I'm kind of like, I wouldn't even want to throw bowling balls around in here because I feel like I'm interrupting, you know, and there were people off to the side that were just
bowling
whatever.
As he's performing.
Yeah. It's like, all right, fair enough. Nobody seems to care.
It was pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That pizza was amazing. I don't know if it's because I had a couple PBRs in me and I was hungry or what.
Bro. I believe you mean za.
I have it wrote down in my notes as za.
Okay.
So you're correct. I'm a fuck
right.
up.
Pretty
the
good.
za was really tasty.
It was. Oh man, did that hit the spot after that show too? Because I needed something. Because you know there was a lot of sweat emptied out of me in that show.
Yeah.
And
big ass slice of za will do that.
And plus, when I just smelling it the whole damn time.
Right.
And then when we saw that it was, what was it, $3 or $2.75 or whatever the hell it was, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, because I expected it to be like $4 or $5 a slice.
Yeah, no, it was good pizza and it was affordable and yeah.
And then on the way out when 75 cent, what?
You're that crackle?
A little bit.
Yeah, that was weird.
On our way out, we got there was this guy that kind of walks toward us, and he's like, "Hope you guys had a good night." And I'm like, "Who, me?" And he points to Tony. He's like, "Him." And I'm like, "All right."
Oh, you mean the guy I just blatantly ignored?
Yeah. And the guy's like, "Either you got 75 cent," and I'm like, and we're both like, "Who asked for 75 cents? Like, why wouldn't you ask for $1?"
Like, I would get
have
it
some
was
standards.
$3.50.
Right? Man, I ain't got no $3.50. It's just so in my head, that guy will forever be known as 75 cent because.
Well, true.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's just the uncle of 50 Cent. That's all it is.
He is. Yeah,
you know?
He's Fiddy's uncle.
You know,
or maybe half brother.
Or half brother.
No, he'd be 25 cent then.
Yeah. Now, if he had called me Youngblood, he would have got that 75 cents.
For sure. If he would have called me Youngblood, I would have kept walking still.
Yeah, actually, that probably still would have been. Because I was already contemplating a second piece of pizza. So,
the one thing I need to bring up, though, since we're talking about this here concert, is Fester.
Yeah.
There was this gigantic old, I mean, he was no joke, in his 50s to 60s.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, first, you made the best joke. There's the narc.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah. Because seriously, no one in that crowd, I think, stood out more than he did, right?
Yeah, because he was a giant, white, bald guy, clean-shaven, with a Michigan jacket. University of Michigan jacket on. And tucked in jeans. It was all,
Yeah, he seriously could not have looked like he was, like, completely lost.
He looked like he came from Middle Earth.
Also that.
Like they should have been fighting him in the mines of Moira.
Well, I think part of what skewed your thinking there is that there were hobbits everywhere, so you just immediately thought he was some giant troll or something.
He looked like a troll. It's true.
He kind of did, yeah.
But as soon as the band started playing, he was right next to the stage. It was fascinating.
Which we both had hoped for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Jokingly, that's what we were saying. Like, that'd be so funny if that's what happened.
Right.
And then it happened.
He wasn't like, throwing people around or anything, which would have been crazy. Can you imagine he was like crowd surfing?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Now, and we did find out, just by paying attention that, he was clearly the chaperone for a group of probably 5 kids.
Youngins, yeah.
Yeah, and by kids, I mean probably 15.
Yeah, early to mid-teens.
Yeah. A couple of which were really weird kids.
But I just love the fact he was right up on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despite his trollish nature.
I did feel bad for him once the Swellers got on, because clearly that's who the kids wanted to see. And he saw, I'm assuming the one girl was his daughter, that ended up on stage singing with them.
Right.
That, when she kind of just took off towards the crowd, the pit area, and I just looked at his face, and I'm like, oh, that poor guy. Because you can tell he's just, luckily for him, he just towers over everyone.
Yeah,
so
he's just a monster.
He can see everything in this place.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wanted to just tape my phone to his head for recording purposes. Because it would have been like using a, gigantic tripod.
Yeah, big boom walking around.
Right. Big boom. Oh, man. But yeah, I felt bad for him when he, had to endure that with it was actually 2 of the kids took off towards the pit area, and I was like, oh, I hope this ends well. Because the way people were getting just tossed around in there, I mean, whew. And those 2 were scant.
Yeah. Like everyone else.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah. Well, these 2 looked like, the guy especially looked like he needed a sandwich.
He needed about 2 or 3.
Right, to be skinny.
Yeah, that was dude, I saw him, I'm like, whoa. I didn't know you couldn't have shoulders. What happened?
Yeah, and he was the one that was throwing water around at people at one point. He was a weird kid.
He really needed a good ass kicking, to be honest.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if they had played a couple more shows, he might have found one, because there were a couple guys that were getting close to that point.
Oh, yeah.
Which is no good, because it's first of all, if you're going to do that kind of dancing and shit, you got to understand that throwing people around, that's part of the deal. Plus, you're around where people are crowd surfing, you might get kicked.
Yeah.
That's part of the gig, And if you can't handle that, stay a row or 2 back like the old people.
Yeah. But if you're throwing water around, you might get accidentally, quote unquote,
Dick
kicked.
punched. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually, because a couple of people I saw with when the water hit them were not real happy about it. And, on one hand, I'm kind of like, come on, you're probably all hot and sweaty, probably no big deal.
I mean, for all they know, it might have been beer or,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, that's I've been hit with beer at concerts, and I'm never impressed when it happens.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah, it's all right.
I was just pouring beer all over Tony the whole time on Saturday.
Man, I'm only upset if it's PBR. If it was like, some sort of delicious craft concoction.
Yeah. You would have been on the floor trying to lap it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a Java Stout. I'd be like, this is delicious.
Where'd Tony? Oh, come on, man. Have some dignity.
Dignity?
Meanwhile,
what's that?
He's like a dog lapping a spill up.
Hell yeah. You betcha.
Shit. Is there anything else? I think that...
For the concert? No, it pretty much covers it up pretty
wrapped
nice.
It up pretty well. It was a good time. I had a blast.
Although I do regret not recording a mini episode on the way home.
Yeah, which we were like, dude, we're totally doing that. And then we
just started bullshitting, and then next thing you know, we're home.
Yeah. We'll do that. Yeah, well.
C'est la vie.
At least it ended up with us home.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Good call. Good call.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
that was good stuff.
Yep.
And it also made me, like we talked about
real
on
quick,
our way
though,
home.
Fuck that parking garage for closing that closer door.
Well, yeah, fuck the parking garage.
Fuck them twice. Anyway.
But it was cheap parking, to be fair.
I don't care. Fuck them. They're not getting a Christmas card.
It did make me realize that I need to go see more live music.
Yes.
Once I had kids, I kind of cut into that a little. But now my kids are older.
Right.
I can, say, you're on your own for a few hours.
Right.
Daddy's going to go have beers.
Right. Now, you're meaning outside the concert, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What I do is I just chain them up to a light post.
And
Kinda
with
like,
signs that say, please don't take us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's good babysitting, right?
Well,
just
the
be like,
sign
hey, do you
says,
guys
please
need
don't
bouncers?
take us unless you're a gypsy family.
Well, that's different.
I got to work that curse off somehow.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah. Well, sure, yeah.
What are you going to do?
Right. I just always figure you just go up to the venue and you're like, do you need a couple of bouncers? And you just try to sell your children as bouncers.
I don't know if they worked out that well.
No?
They're not. No, Logan's getting kind of tall, but...
I was going to say, who's going to punch the kid, though?
Oh,
Kid's like,
that's
hey,
true.
maybe you've had enough. Then just like, whack.
Well, it depends what kind of concert it is. Is it a country concert? Because they all beat their kids. So.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's a good chance you're going to be at a country concert.
You are correct. Not unless it's hologram Johnny Cash. Then I'm in.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally in, too.
Yeah.
Especially if Tupac's, there, too.
Fuck yeah, why not?
Oh, man, I'd so go see Cash Pac.
Cash Pac?
I'm right.
It's the greatest tour ever.
It is for the people who are lining their pockets with cash.
That's true. And Pac.
And Pac, yeah.
Ooh, Pocky. That sounds awesome right now.
Terrible. Yeah, I don't have anything else written.
So besides shooting rocks out of your dick in the concert, you have anything else?
So far, great week, right? See, people always, you're always too negative. You just blah blah blah. It's like no, because it's like I come out of the concert and I'm like, man, life is good. I'm glad I'm off the antidepressants because I fucking felt all this tonight. I felt the love at the concert. I was really kind of feeling that music, and maybe it was just the PBR talking, but whatever.
Right. Well, it is a blue ribbon winner.
Obviously.
Clearly.
And then Saturday, about halfway through the day, or Sunday, about halfway through the day, and, I'm like, my back kind of hurts a little bit. And like, whatever. Just, I was like, maybe I should drink some more water to kind of offset yesterday,
Right.
So I kept doing that, and then I was like, wow, I am almost getting doubled over by this pain. I'm going to make a Facebook post. How long should I wait with pain before I go to the doctor?
Hilarious.
To which our friend Oz asked me a couple of questions and was like, you should go. I think it might be a kidney stone. And
wow,
much like the amazing Kreskin, he held the envelope with the kidney stone to his helmet, his head. The helmet's a funnier reference. It is. It's a joke for another show.
Now, it's probably not a good thing, but Monday, Tuesday, we would not have been able to do a show.
Right.
You could have.
No, I couldn't have.
No, because my internet, for some reason, those 2 days was shit.
Ah, okay.
Like, I wanted to drive into Toledo and burn Buckeye Cable to the ground. I didn't know what was going on.
Seems a tad extreme, because I would have been kind of mad, because then you would have taken out my internet.
I guess that's true.
I might have had to burn you down at that point.
All I know
Nothing personal, of course, just business.
Is I'm trying to update my podcast on my phone, and I look, and it's like one podcast is like, this will be downloading in 124 hours. I'm like, the fuck's going on?
When did I switch back to dial-up?
Basically. So I did the old speed test. I was getting 0.02 megabytes per second.
That is like
strong.
Now,
right?
the graphic of that showed me running, right?
Well, I did the old modem router reset, thinking that might work, and it didn't help. So I'm like, well, maybe there's a problem.
Yeah.
I'll check it in the morning. Nothing the next morning either. And, we do everything. Like, all our entertainment's basically streaming.
Right. Now, out of curiosity, can you check the outside hookup or where it's at, or do you have to have someone else?
I'd have to monkey up into trees and shit,
Because I was going to say, like, where I live, sometimes they're, like, right outside of these places. And sometimes, like, people here will dick around and unplug them, basically.
I don't know what the problem was, because it was getting to the point I was going to, call Buckeye Cable, fuckers, and do the Bill Burr trick, which is you don't yell, you don't curse, you just say, this is unacceptable.
Right.
This is until you get what you need.
Which is absolutely 100% probably the best and most effective way to handle customer service.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you yell, they're done.
And
from a customer service perspective, you and I did it long enough.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you anymore. The more you yell at me, the less I'm going to do for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, go ahead and yell. I don't give a shit.
And it was unacceptable because we're paying for like the highest speed.
Absolutely.
You know? So, but I'm like, well, before I call, let me do the modem router reset again.
Right.
And I did it, and I did the speed test, and full speed. Everything's normal. I don't know what the hell was going on.
In my head, I kept hearing did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if we would have tried to record
I would like to return the internet.
It would have never happened. I would have never been able to connect.
Right. Well, as it was, Thursday recording
it just
never
wasn't
happened,
meant to be.
Apparently. Yeah, it was. Like I said, there's no way I could have on Monday or Tuesday because I pretty much could only lay one way in bed.
Right.
And that was after I took 2 Percocet. So.
Well, we could have podcasted, and I could have drawn you like one of my French girls.
Yeah, it would have been sexy. Awful. So, fast forward a little bit to today.
Yes.
And I'm still in a little bit of pain. For the most part, it's gone, but I'm still having a little bit of it. And by a little bit, I mean that, like, when it really hits, it's still like being stabbed in the back.
Right.
Or the groin, depending on where it really wants to flare up. Ladies. So, I look and I'm like, oh, I have a Percocet left. This is not good.
Better crush it and snort it.
Right. Well, that's how I normally do.
Oh, of course.
So I called my doctor, my general practitioner, and I was like, hey, here's the problem. I had to go in. I have a kidney stone. I had to go in Sunday. I have a kidney stone. They gave me Percocet. I'm almost out. I'm still in some pain. I just need like a couple of more, basically, so that I'm not without,
Right.
Yeah, you went to another facility, so we can't do that. You're going to have to come in and see the doctor. Like, really? Like, fine. When can I come in? Tuesday. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to pull the curtain back. We record on Friday.
What? Oh, God damn it, our secrets are out there.
I know, sorry. My business! For those of you who can't see, I, covered up my nipples. Not that they were already uncovered, mostly.
Well, because we do it as shirtless.
Yeah, well, we do everything shirtless.
It's comfort.
Yeah, obviously. So...
We're just waiting to have female guests on because they're like, well, we do our podcast shirtless. Sorry,
yeah.
ladies.
Don't you have a sense of urgency? I
do now.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So I'm like, when can you get me in there? Like Tuesday. And I'm like, see, the problem is I have a Percocet left. I'm supposed to take 1 to 2 every 6 hours. That math doesn't work.
Did they go, well, let me hook you up with my personal pharmacist. His name's Biscuit. You meet him at
Listen,
the Quickie Mart.
That's fine. I don't mind. I know Biscuit. We go back. We went to Bible camp together.
Well, naturally.
So
praise Jesus.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm like, okay, well, if I do that, can you call in something for me until Tuesday, basically, or at least, a couple days worth kind of a thing.
Right.
No, we can't. And I'm like, I get it. It's a narcotic, whatever. It's a controlled substance. I get it. But it's like, I'm not asking for a month's worth or something.
Yeah.
It's like, can you give me 4 of them?
You're not asking for oxys.
Yeah. It's like, I'm asking for 4 and
medical grade cocaine.
Dude. And I know for a fact that, Percocets are giving out fucking candy in this damn country. It's like, really? I know people who've gotten Percocets for nothing. Meanwhile, I'm over here like someone's stabbing me in the fucking back every 10 minutes. So
that's my voodoo doll. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So I tell the woman, I was like, so I'd be better off going to the emergency room again, is what you're telling me. And she's like, well, that's your decision. I'm like, okay, and hung up.
See, this is where you should have been like, well, that's unacceptable.
It really is, because, so I'm like, you know what? So I called the emergency room. And I talked to the nurse there, and I was like, look, the same thing. It's like, I'm just looking for a couple of these just so that I am not without kind of a thing. I just don't want to not have any of these and have to come back in to the emergency room just to get, a painkiller or 2.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, we can't do that. She's like, we don't, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so if I came in, I'd get something. She's like, yep. And I was like, this is just... So I hang up. And as soon as I hang up, you remember the Warheads candy? The picture on it, where it's the dude's head blowing up, a mushroom cloud? That was pretty much me at that point. And I'm just like, this is just fucking ridiculous. It's like I got to go into the doctor, get reassessed, just so that I can basically go, I'm in pain, blah, 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 fill out more forms, sit there, have her run some tests that they just did on me like 4 days ago, and go, yeah, it's probably going to take a couple more days. Here's a prescription for whatever, to help you get through it. It's like, and I honestly don't know because I'm not someone who does this all the time, but I don't know what they would need to do and testing and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if my insurance is going to cover this.
Right.
I just went to the ER 4 nights ago for this, So I'm like, well, I can't run this risk because if I get in there, I can't afford to pay this myself. So, yeah. So I'm just,
you need to move to Florida when you just drive to one of those pain management centers.
Yeah.
And they go, here's a satchel of oxys. And then you drive 10 miles down the road and you go to another one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's the amazing part to me is, again, I understand controlled substances and they don't want to encourage junkies and blah, blah.
Right.
But it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm asking for a couple of these things, or 4 of them, something like that, just to tide me over just in case.
Take a look at your medical history and be like, oh, he doesn't come in here every 3 weeks.
Right? Like, so, yeah.
Dick bags.
So, yeah, I've been just violently angry about that all day.
Oh, that's fair.
And then, like, one of the toilets at the house here, like, the tank just cracked the other night. And,
man, too much fiber.
I know, right? No, it wasn't one I was using. It was super cone blow.
Super blow.
So they put the new toilet in today, and the cutoff valve, when they went to turn it back on, it just spins. Like, it doesn't actually. So we have no running water at the moment. And I'm just beyond cranky. This week can just go fuck itself. Like, from Sunday forward, this whole week can just go fuck itself with the jaggedest, sandpaperiest dick it can find.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And I hope it bleeds.
Profusely.
A lot, yeah.
And it doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got my hearing checked, my eyes checked, and my
It's a good time to get your
checked.
hearing checked, right? Right
I
after.
got a handshake and my balls played with.
In that order.
Pretty much, it was actually.
I'm not sure if if you get your balls played with and then a handshake, I don't know.
Yeah, the old. I've only been working at this job for like 8 years, and I just now had a physical for it.
Well,
I don't know how that's possible
because they're like, hey, he's getting this mule's getting kind of old. We might want.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
We got to see if we need to start training a younger one.
Boy, I wish. Not that, but
to replace you. Well, to replace you once you keel over.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah, not before.
I was just thinking younger because the whole setup I had.
Yeah.
Because, one of the other dudes I talked to was like, yeah, you're going to get the old hernia test there, too. I'm like, whatever. I've been through it before.
Right.
But the whole setup I'm having was this smoking hot young nurse.
Well, of course. As is tradition, sure.
This could end out well.
Yeah.
Cranky old guy with cold hands.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least he kept your sense of urgency down.
Boy, did he. Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
But boy,
or was it?
I'm telling you. I mean, I checked my recent issue of GQ.
Yeah.
And, the spring look is paper ass out gowns.
Tell me about it. Well, now I will say, as evidenced by the picture I posted on the internet on my Instagram and my Twitter, I was looking quite nice in my muumuu on Sunday.
Yeah.
Now,
dapper.
I still had my britches on. Like, because she just hands me this gigantic fucking gown, dude. Like, I could have gotten into it. You could have probably fit, like, half the people at the show from Saturday in it with me. We just wrapped it up and just had a big hug, And I was like, listen, I know I'm fat, but come on,
Like really?
like, come on. On the upside, it was big enough I could have literally like closed it, wrapped it, and then like tied it in the front probably without a problem whatsoever.
Make some sort of cool Jedi robe out of it.
Sure. But I was handed that, and then I was handed a cup, and they were like, "Yeah, we need you to go piss in this," and I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "Oh, look, that's what pissing blood's like."
Like, oh, that's exciting.
Like, well, that's another one off the bucket list.
Apparently my dick needs an exorcist.
Yay! I will say one of the things, they were great at the hospital and stuff, but the only thing that stunk was when I went in This woman comes in, they got to like put all your information into the computer and stuff. And I'm just laying on this like gurney thing, and I'm just like, ow, ow, like in horrible pain. And the nurse or whatever's, talking with me, and then someone else walks in. She's like, "Hi, I'm a student," and blah. And I'm like, like I understand the profession. They're students; they have to learn hands-on and
Right.
everything. And I understand wanting to be hands-on with me. I get it, but
sexiest podcast on the network,
obviously, right?
For sure.
It is what the tattoo across my back says. So
yeah.
But I'm sitting there going, she just starts like typing stuff into the computer, and she is slow. And I'm standing there at one point, I'm just like, I don't want to be a jerk, and I point to the nurse, and I was like, can you do this? Because you were doing it faster. I was like, I'm in a lot of pain.
like, listen up, whippersnapper.
Pretty much like, I want to get to the part where you put the thing in my arm and just pump happy juice into it. And this is not progressing the way, Once I got to that point, I was in good shape. But
this process needs to speed up a little.
Although I was a little frightened because, at one point when the doctor came in and, I had, recently been issued my moo-moo, and the doctor's like, all right, well, she's like, judging by the blood there, that's probably a kidney stone, so let's just get you she's like, we'll get you tubed up and we'll take care of things. And I'm like, tubed up? And she goes, oh yeah, an IV. And I'm like, oh, I thought she meant catheter.
Oh,
because I didn't know if they were going to have to like stick something up my dick to like,
right.
Like play Galaga with the kidney stone or something,
Not as comfortable as a raised catheter.
Also not as optional as a raised catheter.
True.
But yeah, boy, was I relieved when she meant IV.
Right.
Because, yeah, I was not looking forward to a catheter.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah, so there you go. That's been my week. You got anything to throw in there aside from your awkward ball groping? Our balls have had a week.
They have. They really have.
Yours were
not really a great one.
No, these are not
one of those triumphant ball stories.
No, this is not like high-fiving or anything.
Yeah.
Or high-2ing, whatever.
Exactly.
No down lows either.
I don't really have. I mean, there's a couple like random news stories, but fuck them. Who cares?
Oh no, that's fine. We can get into that shit. I was just
we got comics and our stuff to talk about.
True.
But there's one thing I do have to bring up is
urgency.
What happened to Ebola?
Like, you miss it?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Like a month ago, everything was like, oh my god, Ebola's everywhere. Everyone's gonna die. I know they didn't cure it.
Yeah.
More attractive news stories, clearly.
It's got to be because I think it's because people quit dying from Ebola, essentially. Like, it wasn't, like, everybody wasn't getting infected as much.
There's better ratings to be had elsewhere without scaring the shit out of people.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but,
I mean, it's just, it just kind of vanished from the news.
Well, that's what that stuff does.
I know.
Every year, whatever X flu is, it does
I know,
that,
and I hate it.
Yeah.
Fuck off media.
Yep. People wise up a little bit and realize, they like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing about Ebola. It's like, there you go. That's the beginning of the right attitude. The next is anytime they talk about it on the TV, turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Or turn it to another channel. Or better yet, go to saltylanguage.com and click on the old episodes links and just start playing our episodes.
Also true.
Because we talk about Ebola a whole lot less.
Barely ever.
Except for right now.
Well, yeah.
What you really got to watch out for is Hobola anyways.
Hobola.
Runs rampant on my ranch, let me tell you.
See, that's either runs rampant on the ranch or it only infects the holes, which is a problem too.
No. I'm not going to say it's more one than the other. Maybe that's what I got. Damn it.
Yeah, it might be a problem.
That'll teach me to go to the hobo petting zoo.
Yeah. Ugh.
What a horrible idea that would be.
Especially the hobo heavy petting zoo. Ugh.
That's the only kind. Oh, yeah. You want an apple? You're a big boy.
El creepy.
Right. Yeah, I don't have... Well, I actually do have all sorts of just tidbits that I've been jotting notes to since, not recording forever.
Right.
Let's do a little of that real quick here in the old like news whip or whatever.
We can news whip.
All right. Did you see?
That's a perfect idea.
Did you see that CM Punk signed with UFC?
I didn't read any articles, but I saw stuff on Twitter.
I guess like right at whatever the last UFC event was, like Rogan was doing some of his talky talk, and next thing you know, like out walks CM Punk, and you know they're like blah blah blah, and CM Punk's like, "Yep, I'm training with like Hoist Gracie and whatever." So they're not sure exactly on his weight class yet. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, and since then, the guy who was the Green Ranger has said that he would like to fight CM Punk, and I'm like, I'm sure you would, because that would be a great payday for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's using
got mortgages and stuff.
Yeah.
Mortgages. He's got rent. Like, he owns anything.
Rent. He's got a car payment.
That's also rent.
True.
Because he lives in it.
It's like, I get it. Now, I will say, like, the guy is legitimately, like, into MMA and stuff. It's not like he isn't, but it's still, that's an attention grab, and if I'm CM Punk, that is no way in hell I want to fight like that.
Right.
I want someone who is considered legit as can
plus,
be.
that dude fought Zerg or whatever. I mean,
right?
fuck.
Yeah, you can't.
Dude,
Dude, he was green and the White Ranger.
Yeah, that's a lot of rangering.
You got no chance, even if you call yourself the best in the world, you know? Which I'm assuming he probably won't be doing when he's in UFC, because that's a good way to get yourself beat up badly.
Also true.
Although he's been training with the Gracies for a long time, and I hear they know what they're doing with the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, they're fairly knowledgeable, I think.
Yeah.
They're up-and-comers in the jiu-jitsu
world.
Right.
They may have an idea what's going on in the jiu-jitsu scene.
A little bit.
So the guy, I'm trying to think. There was a decent amount of like people just like, oh, what a terrible idea, and oh, does that mean, because Brock Lesnar's contract is up with WWE in like, I think it's right after WrestleMania or right before WrestleMania. I can't remember which it is.
Right.
And I'm just like, there's no way in hell these two guys are going to fight in the UFC, because they're nowhere near each other in weight class.
No, that won't happen.
Dude, Brock Lesnar is a heavyweight.
Plus, I mean, I was a big
CM
fan
Punk's
of Brock
like a
Lesnar
middleweight.
in the UFC.
Yeah.
But then Cain Velasquez happened.
Yeah, and which became, you know, a vagina on his face that's still there. Like, every time they get close up on him, I go, oh, yeah, that's where Cain fucked you up. Or no, that wasn't Cain. Was that Carwin?
Yeah, Carwin. No, I don't think Carwin opened him up like that.
Oh, well, Carwin beat the shit out of him, remember?
Yeah, he
for like,
beat the
what,
shit
2
out
rounds or a round, and then Carwin was like, oh, I forgot some tiny, so, you know, to close my guard a hair, and Lesnar just wrecked him. But yeah, and then Velasquez just destroyed him.
Yeah, well, that's what Velasquez does. Yeah. He's like the Terminator.
Yeah. Well, he had like three fights in a row where he got just messed up, but he won like 2 of them. So, you know. Yeah, but there's so many reasons that fight's not going to happen. First of all, I don't even think that if you're Dana White, I'm not entirely sure, even if you could, which he could. Well, no, he couldn't because of the sanctioning and stuff. You can't do that. That's part of how he got shit sanctioned, was by having weight classes.
Right.
That way you can go. I mean, in an actual fight of that style, a guy like Brock Lesnar might actually kill CM Punk. You know,
well, we're going back to like UFC 1 days.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that is not going to happen. So, and again, I don't know that Dana White would want that. I think he would want those guys fighting separate on the card, and potentially you wouldn't even want them on the same card. I
mean, would Dana even have Lesnar back?
I think he would, because Lesnar would still make him a lot of money.
Yeah, I know.
Lot
true,
of money.
But it's just, I mean,
I don't think Lesnar's anywhere near the class of the heavyweights, though, with Velasquez and those other guys towards the top.
No, he's not. He's a natural fighter, but he's
but
just
what
not...
he will do is bank.
Yeah.
That's why WWE wanted him back. Like,
for sure.
You know, it isn't that he's the most popular guy or whatever, but they knew 100% asses in seats.
Yep.
Even though he's never on the shows. Hasn't been on in months, and he's the champion.
That doesn't seem to make much sense. That don't make no sense.
I agree. But anyways, yeah, so I thought the CM Punk to UFC thing was interesting, considering that part of his reasoning for leaving WWE and everything was the whole, I was overworked, I was beat up, and blah. It's like, why the fuck would you go pursue UFC then?
Oh, because he can have one fight every 4 months or whatever.
Well, I mean, you still got to train like crazy for that.
Yeah, but I bet you he likes the training.
Oh, no, I don't doubt that. I'm just meaning, like, actual fight training versus training is totally different.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And plus, again, weight cut, which
Right.
has got to be the most brutal part of it.
But I would imagine that the grind of wrestling versus the grind of UFC is probably way worse.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because there's no house shows for UFC. You know,
Right.
you don't have to go do a show. You don't have to go do Raw on Monday and then do Superstars on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then SmackDown on Friday, and
the Washington County Arena or whatever.
Right. You know, so yeah, it's but I don't know, man. Listen, I'm sure he's going to go. I mean, I know, you know he'll give it full effort and stuff, but man, that's just I don't know.
How about the mistletoe drone delivering kisses and slicing up noses and faces at TGI Fridays?
Well, that's what I expect out of a mistletoe drone. That's
actually
why I ordered
give me a kiss like a bleeding face.
Right. That's why I actually ordered 5.
Because 'tis the season.
Right. To lacerate your friends.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun when I heard that.
Yep.
Oh, Fridays. I think that was our pal Eric Pulicki threw that up on Twitter. That's when I first saw it.
Yeah, I think someone else alerted me to it sooner than that, but we're going to give Pulicki credit because I can't remember who the other person was. And if you're listening, no.
Should have been quicker.
Make yourself more memorable. No, I kid. Let's see, what else we got here? You say HBO, for their standalone app, is looking to basically launch it right around the time of the premiere of Game of Thrones.
It's very smart.
Gee, there's a shock, yeah.
Yeah, really.
All I'm going to say is this. If I believe right, last year's Game of Thrones premiere crashed their app epically.
Yes, because we tried.
So if they're going standalone on this, they better... I mean, first of all, I would assume they would do a soft launch a few weeks in advance. Not that we would know anything about soft launches. And
nothing soft over here.
So, but that they would... that, because they really got it... It's got to really work.
Right.
If for some reason it kind of stumbles out of the gate, people are going to be violently upset. Because they got to see them inbred titties on that show.
Inbred titties.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much anymore. Not at least not with Khaleesi. That's under contract now.
Yeah,
no more nudity.
That's true. What's her face? Lena Headey or whatever her name is. I think's her name. The one that plays... I can't think of her
Cersei.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she's supposed to be naked all over the place. We've talked about it a few times already. So,
right.
It's got to give the crowd what they want.
Did you,
I guess.
hear what's going on in Saskatoon? Dateline Saskatoon?
I
Brian?
know. Somehow I'm not up to date on the Saskatoon
Well,
times.
this came from our Vancouver pal, Monica.
Our Saskatoonian affiliate.
And, apparently there was an argument over diced onions in a Tim Hortons, and a guy whipped out a gardener snake and threw it at the employee.
Wow.
Because if you don't have guns and knives, you resort to snakes, apparently.
Now, I have to ask a question. This guy was
it
not...
worked for Serpentor.
Right? This guy was not Bullseye, though, right? So this wasn't like a lethal snake throw.
No.
Okay.
This is about as far as lethal as you can get.
Like it just went limp in his hand?
Well, it wasn't even a venomous snake.
Well, you shouldn't be so quick to knock that.
Well, that's true. I mean, I did have science. I'm not a venomous snake anymore either.
Just a snake.
Just a snake. I just love the fact that they were arguing over diced onions, and the guy yanked a snake out and threw it over the counter.
Now, by diced onions,
for
you
a
mean
smoke bomb and missed.
Yeah, it's like, whoops, he opened the wrong pouch on the bat belt.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
No, damn it, I got into my snake pouch, which is a great name for underwear. Salty Language presents snake pouches.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Oh, you know what? The spokesperson, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Duh. Also, Snake Pouch kind of sounds like a great name for a spy movie.
Or a band.
We are Snake Pouch. That sounds pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way.
Mm-hmm.
Over diced onions.
Any more for our news whip?
I got one last one here.
All right.
As soon as I find it. Star Wars comic number 1 tops 1 million copies sold, apparently.
Damn! Was
first,
it like some tie-in with the future movie or something?
No.
All
Not
right.
that I know of. But I did, like, from having, well, I mean, being collectors of books and having our own place, I was like, yeah, I was like, 1 million copies is like, listen, like, Spawn sold like 1 million copies, but that was based purely on speculation, which I'm sure a ton of this is also.
Oh, I'm retarded. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Is this a new Star Wars
Yeah,
book?
yeah, new one.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm not retarded then.
Ah. Well, you kind of are.
Well, a little bit.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Just mildly. It's okay. But I was like, I bet there's incentive covers. Like 1 in 50. Or by 50, by 50 issues, you get one of this issue.
Or there's like 20 different variants.
There are various variants. And there are like 1 in 50 incentive covers. There's like Dynamic Forces has their own like 1 in 25 one. I think there's like a few. And I was like, see, for every one of those, it's like in my head, I'm like, okay, well, tick off those 50. Tick off these amount. Tick off for legitimate numbers.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay. It's like, yeah, that's great. You sold your 1 million copies, but that's mainly because you have incentive copies. Like,
Yeah, because there's a guy drinking a freshly crafted Dorito right now, and he's got his Chewbacca iPhone case, and he's buying every chase cover, every variant.
And I'll give you a hint, it's me. No.
Sweet phone case, by the way.
Yeah, right? It's actual Wookiee. Yeah. You know how on like baseball cards they had the like jersey patches?
Yeah, it's a Wookiee patch.
Right. I cut all the crap out of his fur and that's all that was left.
That's all the Wookiee bachelors want is a little Wookiee patch.
That'd be so frightening looking.
Yeah, it would be. What, a Wookiee vagina?
Well, yes, I was thinking like a Wookiee, a female Wookiee, just like, freshly shorn essentially, except for like her bandolier.
Right.
We've
kind of walked through this territory before. I need to find that episode and put it up in the best of.
That's an old episode.
It is an old episode.
Old episode.
Speaking of that, go to the best ofs on YouTube that we're putting together. Because I don't know if you've ever looked at the numbers. It's like Gangnam Style, Justin Bieber, and then us. YouTube skews numbers. It's weird. But
Right.
I'm telling you,
Right.
we're up there.
Right. I think it'll only be a week or two before we take Gangnam Style over.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming for you.
That is if YouTube takes that video off of.
Well, true.
To where we can go, I don't see any counters on it.
What do you mean?
Liar. All right, I think that's all the news whip I have for the week. Yeah. You got anything else?
No. Well, I've been thoroughly enjoying Cards Against Humanity's 10 Days of Kwanzaa or whatever.
Yeah.
They've been sending me all kinds of good stuff. Like I got, fresh cards for my game, which is always good. I got fun stickers that are reusable.
Yay, fun. Oh, and reusable.
Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like Coney 2012 and for rectal use only, stickers like that.
Ooh, nice.
But
so you put that on your groin, right? And walk around town with it?
With the Coney, yeah.
Yes. Oh, I thought you used them together. Like this Coney is anyway.
But they sent a game.
Okay.
Like an actual just standalone game.
Okay.
And today I got funny pages. It's like Sunday comics, but they're horrible.
Well, horrible as in
I only read a couple of them. I'm like, I'm going to have to read these later.
Oh,
I
okay.
had too much shit to set up today,
So horrible as in Cards Against Humanity,
Yes.
horrific human being style. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
Pretty
live with
great.
that.
I'm glad I signed up for it.
What was that, like $10 to do that?
It was 15, but I mean,
yeah.
Their first cards they got were personalized.
I saw that.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm pretty jealous that there's a Tony card in there and there's not a Brian card, considering I've made comments that, a Brian card would be, a power card. And if it ever happens, I'm putting a fucking hashtag in front of it.
Well, our kind of like house rule is if we're playing on your birthday, you get to make a card.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No one ever wants to play on my birthday.
Uh-huh. No, that's pretty much all I got.
All right. Well, let's move into... What do you want to talk next? Comics or football? Oh, no, never mind. We'll talk...
What do we have timing-wise?
We are at 1 hour and 4 minutes, sir.
Oh, okay.
We're just flying through this thing because we're professionals, goddammit.
Why don't we do Feetsball last? We'll move into some comics.
All right.
I am, unfortunately, because my week's been shitty, I haven't watched Flash or Arrow. I'm behind.
Oh, you know what? I did too. I totally forgot about him, actually, because I actually was thinking that the crossover was the mid-season finale, and I forgot it wasn't.
Right.
There's one more episode, which is kind of weird.
It is.
That would have been they easily could have just broke for the season there. I think that would have been almost a great point. But I heard the episodes were really good, though. So
that's what I heard, too.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't watched them yet. So
Nor
I
have
really...
I.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, we failed miserably on that one. But, it's all right.
And I guess at risk of hopping on Nichols'
You
balls
son of a... Oh, okay.
from the Graphic Novice.
Now, first of all, did you clear with Nickel that there's room to hop on his balls?
I didn't ask him, to
Also,
be fair.
Speaking of jumping on people's balls, we need anyone listening to this to go tweet at Doc Thirst on Twitter.
Yes.
Whatever the hell you want to tweet him. We don't even
I would
care.
say salty language says hi.
Right. Or, here's some subtle kisses.
Oh, nice.
Or better
on the
yet,
nape of his neck.
or better yet, supple kisses.
Supple.
Because that's what I meant to say, not subtle kisses.
It's like a ninja kiss.
Because I don't do subtle very well.
True.
I crash awkwardly into things. Ladies.
Exactly.
That's a throwback.
No, because this is something I was thinking about, something you said you had in your notes to talk to me about, was with our comic book segment, to bring in 3 books that we enjoyed and talk about them instead of covering everything we read.
Right, and
and if Nickel brought it up himself for their show, and I was like, God damn it, they beat us by a week.
Yeah.
Those sons of bitches.
Well, that's what happens living up in Canada, you know?
It's true.
With that good health care and all.
Yep.
You know? They can stay ahead of the curve.
They can.
Jerks. Well, jerk, because the other two are not Canadians.
Also
Again,
true.
at Doc Thirst on Twitter.
At Doc Thirst.
All day long at Doc Thirst.
Yeah. So, that's something I think we're going to start implementing.
Right, because I had actually written down something like, 3 to 5, or always, like stuff like Axis, like the huge event stuff. Like, to me, that kind of doesn't count, because that stuff, we're probably going to talk about anyway, because it's, a huge event book.
Right.
But there were a couple this week I actually didn't get to that I wanted to, so my list might have looked differently had I. I actually have 5 written down, counting Axis. But
I got 3, but I didn't read a whole lot this week.
Yeah.
You know what? I correct. I'll add 1 to my list, because I did read 1.
That's right, you will.
And didn't make my initial cut, but since, keeping up with the Joneses and whatnot.
You're out.
Since you got 5, why don't you go first?
Okay. I read Bitch Planet #1. Did you read that?
Bitch Planet?
Bitch Planet, yeah.
That's an awesome name. I did not read it.
Kelly Sue DeConnick. And, oh, man, I actually forgot in the news whip to bring this up. There was a comic store that actually had the book, I think it was, on their shelf labeled this week, as though it was written by Mrs. Matt Fraction, because she's Matt Fraction's wife.
Right.
That is not... She's written good books on her...
Shitty.
Yeah, she's a standalone author. Plus, she's a person... it's kind of shitty to... Well, not kind of. It's very
when I'm
shitty.
not doing Matt Fraction's dishes, I'm writing this book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
Right. So, the book's about, basically, a bitch planet is the slang term for this, detention planet where women who don't behave are sent, basically.
Wow.
Who don't fall in line. It was a pretty interesting read. So, I don't want to say a whole lot because I can't do a whole lot without kind of giving stuff away. But I thought it was a good read.
Right.
That was a #1 issue, so that was part of why I jumped on too. But
might as well.
Yeah.
Check out. The old #1s.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So does that get your stamp of approval?
Oh yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and I guess you can look at it in various ways. If you want to look at it as a,
we need a rating system.
There's some feminist themes going on in there, or you can say, well, there's also tons of naked women in there, and you could be a misogynist and just buy it for that.
How about this, Brian? I'm gonna go on Tapped ratings here.
Okay.
0.5 to 5 stars, or 0 to 5 stars. What do you got?
5. I thought it was a 4. I thought it was really good, and I definitely want to read the next issue.
Right. Right on. Well, I took a little time traveling trip here.
Yeah.
and I read the entire arc, 7-issue arc.
Prince Valiant?
Yes, dude, that dude's haircut and puffy sleeves. Badass.
Man. Yeah.
I'm waiting for my hair to come back so I can get the hairdo.
Maybe just wait.
I'll do a reverse bowl cut on my beard.
There you go.
Be a good look.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, my God. I'd do that and immediately dive in front of a bus.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it.
Yeah. Wait, you have to make sure there's a picture taken first. Then
of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All I could say is Garth Ennis is a bad motherfucker.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about Garth Ennis.
I can dig it.
All right. I went and read Red Team.
That sounds really familiar.
From Dynamite Studios or comics or fuck. It's just 7-issue arc, and it's about like a group of cops that are all buddies and all work together. Mm-hmm. That the only way they figure out that they can really make a difference is by whacking people.
Oh, interesting.
So they basically become like a death squad.
Huh.
It's pretty good.
That's interesting.
It really could be a movie, because I don't think the way it ended up, you could really make it like an ongoing show. But I don't know. You could.
It's
fucking good.
Yeah. What was it called again?
Red Team.
Red Team. Okay.
I'm doing 4.5 out of respect for Garth Ennis.
So you're saying more than 60%?
More than 60%.
Vase.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was good.
Interesting. So I remember the name, but the book itself wasn't familiar. Is Axis on your list?
Yes.
All right, well, let's talk Axis real quick then.
All right.
So, so let's do this first.
Okay.
Spoilers,
bitches.
Because real quick, that got lost in the ether, didn't it? My rant about people and spoilers.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, that's too bad. Because I was going to do a follow-up joke about how, my favorite part of, no Walking Dead being on right now is I don't have to deal with all the assholes giving spoilers away.
Oh, it's true.
Anywho, Axis number 7 picks up where we left off with, the good guys being good and the bad guys being bad still, and the X-Men advancing with Apocalypse on, killing non-mutant kind, apparently.
Yeah, wiping out non-mutants.
Yeah. Thought there was kind of a cool scene with Havoc, where he was looking at his wife going, wow, if we drop this bomb, she's going to die.
Right.
And, I love when he asked Cyclops, like, could you live with that decision? And Cyclops is just like, yep. And it's like, you do know Jean Grey's died like 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's numb to wife dying.
Here's the one problem I had with Access.
Yeah.
Is this guy right here?
Yeah.
I don't read a ton of Marvel books.
Yeah.
So shit happens in other books, and they're like, hey, if you want to know what happened, read this. And I understand that's what, it's part of the big event.
Right.
But I don't want to go read, Fuck Stick number 3.
Listen,
to understand
listen, you shut your whore mouth because Fuck Stick number 3 was an epic book.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. Do you know where my issue lies with this on Axis? And maybe more than any other crossover event that I can remember, is there are fucking books created out of Axis and to further push the storyline of Axis, whereas normally it's just like, okay, here's big event. Right. It will be in this book, this book, this book, and this book, kind of a thing. That are all books that already exist.
Yeah.
And then they'll all tie back into the core storybook.
Right.
Axis is not so much that way, even though it is in a lot of ways, but then there's these other books that only exist because of Axis, like Axis Revolutions. Only exists because of this. And
because of Axis.
Right. And there's other books that are Axis Carnage.
Right.
Hobgoblin. These are books that are only created because of Axis, and it's like, that's where it kind of bothers me a little bit, is it's like, it's not only a crossover series, but man, now you're taking the crossover and then creating books to make the crossover bigger.
yeah, exactly.
At the cost of $4.99 or $3.99.
And I thought it was kind of odd.
Yeah.
How through the book, how of all characters is Deadpool like voice of reason?
It's got to be because of the
Axis thing. Yeah. But it struck me as odd.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's the flip in it, is that instead of being shenanigan,
well, he was still up to his shenanigans.
True, he was.
But he was like, well, I'm not going to get into it because, I don't want spoilers or whatever.
Right, because there's a pretty big spoiler, but...
Yeah, but because I don't really want to get into it. But
yeah,
he's like doing not things that I would strike me as Deadpool doing.
Which, again, I just...
I've really been
Are you
enjoying...
at the point that it's kind of like, I kind of want this to just get on with it, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the next issue it's going to, because we're at, like, one of the final panels or whatever actually shows the countdown clock on the...
For the bomb. The gene bomb.
So we're pretty much sitting on that. And also, the gene bomb is an interesting name for it, because I'm hoping to God that somehow igniting this thing is going to recreate the Phoenix Force, and the Phoenix Force is going to somehow undo all of this.
Right.
Because then I'll just giggle myself silly while I'm soiling my pants, because what a terrible idea.
Well, it's one of those things that I've been enjoying this Avengers X-Men Axis book.
Yeah.
Like, at first I was kind of like, it, but
Right.
it's gotten better. I didn't really enjoy this one as much as I have the past couple.
Yeah, I thought this
Although
one...
the last couple panels, I was like, okay, I'm ready for the next one now.
Yeah, I think this one
But
felt
the meat
kind
of
of like
it was just kind of like,
Yep. It was like a pacer issue.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we got all these other books on the outside, because, like, Axis Carnage is tying up, Hobgoblin will be tying up. Some of these ancillary books are all going to be, like, coming to an end.
Right.
So then it's, I think it's time to move to the next phase of,
or
the final phase, I'm guessing.
2.5 stars, this one.
I'll
Middle
go with
of the
you on
road.
that. I'll go with you on that. I can live with that. Yeah, this wasn't one of the better Axis books.
Yeah, I wasn't, not feeling it as much.
I was excited to read it, but then as I started reading it, halfway through, I almost was like, and it's like, I can't give up. We're 7 issues into this. I think it's only like 10 issues or something. It's
right.
We're going to see this through.
In for the long haul.
Plus, it's a big event book in Marvel, and I read enough stuff that it's like, what the hell? I'll just stay with it.
Right.
It's the shit that always gets comic collectors in trouble.
Yes.
You read books way past their prime, and whatever. Let's see, what do I got next here? Southern Bastards number 6.
Oh, right on. I have not read that yet.
Did you read 5?
I haven't read it. No, the series. I even started it.
Oh my god, damn it, man. All right. Well, that just poops all over that then. Something big happened in issue 5.
You said number 7 you're on?
6.
6. All right,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
And it kind of leaves you at a point to where you're like, I'm wondering what direction they're going to go. And they went a little different than I thought, focusing on a different character. And, and it was another really good issue, though. I like, this is a series that I really recommend. So, yeah, I really dug this one. I have a hard time giving books like 5, though. You know what I mean? So it's
5's got to be pretty epic.
Yeah, and this was a really good book to me. I want to go like 4.5 because I think Jason Aaron and Jason Latour are killing it on this book.
Right.
I think this. Well, we'll talk more about Jason Aaron in a minute. But what do you got next?
I got Thor number 3.
Speaking of talking about Jason Aaron in a minute, he's the writer on that series.
There you go. I'm still enjoying that book.
Yeah, I am too.
I do want to know who female Thor is. Still,
and
I even had my kids bugging me because they were flipping through the tablet, and Leah's like, "That doesn't look like Thor." I'm like, "Well, it is. Here's why."
Sure, it is.
And then she's asked me like later, oh, "Who's female?" I'm like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't revealed
like
it yet. Honey. I have no idea."
Yeah, that's the.
But I mean, because it's got that fantasy magic. Trolls, giants, D&D stuff that I'm into.
Well, and I like that there's kind of like a couple of stories going on in this because she, it's female Thor kind of finding herself, and that whole issue she does not have Mjolnir.
Yeah,
because of what happened in issue 2, which was funny, I thought, and interesting. And it's always a good thing when you have a character that, like taking Green Lantern's ring off of him at some point, or like taking Wolverine's medal out of him at some point, or turning him into a giant Hershey Kiss.
Also true.
But, when you take away their crutch, basically, even though she's only had this crutch for a very short time.
Couple issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still enjoying the book.
The ending definitely...
The ending's got me wanting to know what's going to happen next.
And I like that they're drawing out who she is. I do wish they would move it a little further because they're really not giving you anything on her.
Right.
You know, like the only thing they started to do, which I thought was a great tease, was after a while of her being separated from the hammer, you know, like the armor and stuff started just like
going away.
Yeah, but you know, and I was like, okay, that's a cool little, you know, little tease right there. But you know, like I said, I do kind of like that they don't just. But we're in 3 issues here, and they're not just like, oh, okay, here's who she is, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm hoping that they're building to something kind of bigger with it, you know.
Right.
But then again, I also know that Civil War is coming, or whatever you call it. Not Civil War, whatever that Marvel event is, where they're just
whatever
nuking
Marvel's
everything.
Going to call their event.
Yeah. Phoenix Uprising.
Marvel, the Shakedown.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So what do you give it?
I gave it a 3.5.
That seems fair.
You know, it's above average for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it didn't blow me away.
Right,
right. I'm looking forward to reading the next one. So.
Yeah. I still, and I don't, maybe I just missed it, but I don't remember seeing, was it Malekith, however you say his name. I don't remember seeing him and Thor fight to where he tore Thor's arm off.
That was in the first issue.
Was it?
He chopped it off of a sword.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay, yeah. I just was probably half groggy at that point.
Because when it happened, I was like, what the fuck just happened? They just chopped Thor's arm off? Really?
I guess so.
And then he's walking around the book with his arm over his shoulder.
Right, which was great, yeah.
like he was wearing it like a scarf.
Right. Thor's like, verily, my spanking arm.
Yes. How many times do you think that Dark Elf just beat off of Thor's hand?
Right? I would. That's all I would do with it. Yeah. Although
hand jobs from a god.
Although, could you imagine if you got caught in an awkward moment where somehow the hand called the hammer back and oh boy.
That's a problem.
That's a mess.
That is a mess.
All right, let's see what else do I have here.
Did you rate Thor or no? Or are you just talking?
No, I'm with you. 3.5.
All right,
accurate. I think because it didn't blow me away or anything, but it was good.
Yeah,
it's good. I'm in. I'll read it again. You know,
for sure.
I had to put Sex Criminals.
I need to read. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, because this one, without giving too much away, they focus on Jasmine St. Cocaine.
Right.
You know, the porn star that the guy, I can't, damn it, what's his name? John or whatever his name is, the main guy.
John, yeah.
That he's like half obsessed with.
Right.
You know, it focuses on like her career and such. And there's like a page of just like spoof porn titles and stuff on it. And you know, Chip Zdarsky is freaking amazing at all these little background jokes and stuff and fraction. The way that those two just work together on that stuff, it always makes the book, you know?
Right, for sure.
So overall, it's not maybe the best issue, and the most disappointing thing in the freaking book was in the letters column, to where this is issue 9, and they're like, yeah, issue 10 should be out probably by the, you know, I can't remember when it said, like January or something, and then they're taking like 3 months off.
Oh, boo.
And I'm like,
mid-season break.
Yep. I was like, I hate it because too many books that I really like are hitting that point.
Right.
Saga's coming out on a slower pace. This is coming out slower. What was it? There were like 4 books I was thinking of. I meant to write them down, but there's like 4 books I really like that are coming out more on the once every 2.5 month mark. And it's like, see, these are dangerous areas, man, when you got a good book. Like, you want the book to be good.
Right.
But you want it to come out also, you know?
For sure.
So, yeah. But on that one, honestly, it was a pretty good issue. There was some good funny in there, like there is. I'd probably go 3.5 on that one, too. Again, it didn't blow me away, but it was good.
Yeah.
So, like Southern Bastards, I think of the books that I read this week so far, has been the one that I'm like, man, because it's just, the book's
good.
It's meaty.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you, you're going to love the book.
I'll get into it. I just,
You will, I'm telling you.
Oh, you will. Well, the last one I
holding you down, like, read this.
You're reading, you fuck.
No, I'm closing my eyes.
Yeah, you got them pried open like Clockwork Orange.
Damn right I do.
No, I read Punisher number 13.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm not up to current on that. So yeah,
I caught up on it, and it was like it was weird because it was like, you know, Frank Castle's in L.A. and he's doing his Punisher shit, but he's also like in diners eating a lot of breakfast, which is just weird.
That is kind of weird.
And then he was out of L.A. doing other things, right?
Okay.
And then in issue 12, it ended with like him back in L.A. like gonna fuck some fuckers up.
Okay.
So when I saw 13, I'm like, excellent, here we go. Time to have Frank Castle do his thing and whack some people.
Right. But instead, he just bought them all nice lunches and polo shirts.
Well, instead, this whole issue was about the Howling Commandos.
Okay.
Punisher wasn't even in it at all.
So was it like a standalone kind of story?
Well, because without giving a whole lot away, somebody has the Howling Commandos hired to take out the Punisher.
Oh, okay.
So they've been part of the story as it's been going on, but this entire issue was like dedicated to them.
Oh, all right.
So I see. Obviously, they must be having a Howling Commandos book coming out soon. I would assume. I don't know.
Good question. I don't know.
But it's not what I wanted. So it's getting a lowly 2. Oof. So I'm like, I don't care about the Howling Commandos. I'm not here for the Howling Commandos.
You might be.
I'm here for a dude wearing a skull shirt fucking people up.
It's true. It's true.
I'm here for my childhood comics that I love so much.
Right?
Because as we said on this podcast before, that's the comic that got me into comics was The Punisher.
That's true, yeah.
Oh. And damn it, I was a little disappointed.
So, any other books then?
Well, not really, but I decided what I want to do is I want to go back.
Is zoom, and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump.
I've been watching Constantine, which I enjoyed the show.
Yes.
But I haven't read much Hellblazer or Constantine. I know they have a new series of Constantine. But I want to go back.
I don't know. It might be good. I don't really know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But I want to go back and start picking up the trades of Hellblazer.
Yeah.
And read all 300 issues.
That's a lot of reading.
It's a lot of reading. But it'd be one of those things that when I'm like, caught up on shit, just feel like throw down a couple issues of that.
Yeah.
Because I know bad motherfucker Garth Ennis had quite the run on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would guess that there's probably something on the internet that's kind of like a read these and avoid these kind of
probably,
thing.
But I kind of want to just
say that you read
pill.
it. Yeah, yeah. You do like to take it long and deep. Constantine's more than happy to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my personal comic book challenge is all the Constantine, all the Hellblazers.
As a person who's read the whole run of Cerebus,
which is quite the run.
Good luck. Yeah. That is a lot of reading. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dialogue in that book.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to go back and do that too, but it is one of those things where it's kind of like I almost am at that point that I kind of want to just look for the best of,
right?
Rather than go back and read all of it because it's different. Like something like Transmetro or something where there's like 75 or 100 issues.
Yeah,
or,
it's 300.
Yeah,
and I'm guaranteed there's some duds in there.
Oh, dude, and like I said with like Cerebus and stuff, there's some of those issues that I'm like, man, this is really good, and then there's some of them that I'm like, oh, this is just terrible and long and wordy, and but it's like, nope, I'm gonna power through it and just keep going.
Yeah, so that's my thing. I think I'm gonna do because
right.
Why not?
Yeah, that's right. Because why not, indeed, sir.
Yeah, that's all I got comic book wise though.
Yeah, that's all I got too. I've read some other stuff, but I'll be honest with you, I can't really remember them, and it's probably because of the Percocet. Because nice. I've been just laying in bed and I only can lay one way, so I've just been reading books. Like I do remember one other, like I started reading a series called was it The Names? I think it is.
Right.
And it's about this guy who gets basically in the first issue he's coerced into throwing himself out a window.
That's interesting.
But he leaves his wife and his like selectively mute son.
Selectively mute?
Yeah.
Does he just say Hodor?
No.
That'd be awesome.
That would be great. No.
It's a prequel.
He leaves them like clues as to what has really happened.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of an interesting, as it's unraveling, it's been kind of interesting. So it's,
Would you like to give it a rating?
I've been digging it, honestly. I've read the first 3. And, so far I'd say it's probably, 3.5. It's enough to keep me wanting to, stick around on it.
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to take these ratings and do
shine them up real nice. Turn them some bitches sideways. No.
Damn straight.
I was going to put some wrestling into the show because we hadn't done it. Well, I talked CM Punk, but that's not wrestling anymore.
No, it's UFC.
That's that Brazilian wrestling.
Yeah.
I
think I'm going to do just put up a blog post, blink, weekly.
Yeah.
Without much writing because I don't feel like writing that much.
Right.
But just the books we read and the ratings we gave them.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking, because I read quite a bit, that I can do a more thorough version of this because I'll probably have a lot of books. But
fair enough.
But I'm not entirely sure that I'll be as detailed with the ratings.
Yeah.
I might just rate like the 3 or 5 or whatever we talk about, and then the rest just maybe it'll be like a pass fail.
Right. A comic whip.
Yeah. Like yes, no. Like Brian's yes, and have a list of Brian's and then the rest.
Right. The yes and meh.
Yeah.
I think that really only leaves us one thing left, doesn't it?
I believe you're correct, Tony.
I believe so.
I'm not feeling the drama though.
How about now?
I'm feeling a tingling of drama.
A slight tingling of drama?
Little
or is
urgency.
That more kidney stone?
It might be both. Boy, that was an urgent emergency, but not in that way. But by the way, for those who don't know, any urgency reference through this whole episode has been made as, a play toward our pals over at the DAP Pod.
It's strictly for them.
And if you haven't listened to it, you really should go listen to their, was it episode 38, I think? I think it's actually called Urgency
Their most
Emergency.
recent one, no, because when this comes out, a different one will be up.
Yeah.
Just go find it. Just listen to her podcast.
Yeah,
Stop
damn
being
it.
dicks.
Yeah.
All right, moving
Also,
on.
I have one thing to say to Neil before we get into the football. But I want you to leave the music up because it's getting me hard.
All right.
No. Neil, when he was talking about his EEG.
Right.
I'm really disappointed that there was no Cerebro mention.
It should have been a Cerebro.
He could have talked about how he was hooked up to Cerebro and was like searching the world for mutants.
True. And only found himself.
And you know what I saw instead? And in the end, he was looking at himself in the mirror.
Exactly.
But instead, what I saw was a ball that was dropped and kicked out into the street. Now the slow kid on the street, Neil, is going to run out in front of a car. Way to go, Neil. Way to go.
It's a damn shame.
It is.
It is.
Just kidding, Neil.
Back to the frozen fields of Lambeau.
Actually, I think we were starting with the frozen fields of Qualcomm, I think it is, stadium, where the San Diego Superchargers play. This is from last week, the recap.
Oh.
I was just going to real quick.
But that's the recaps from 2 weeks ago now.
Oh, my God, you're right, isn't it?
I wouldn't even worry about it. That's old news, son.
Okay, well, let's update our stats.
Okay, we can do that.
That fair? Okay.
Yeah.
After our, honestly, we both went 3-0 this week.
Because we're bad motherfuckers.
Bringing you to 19-11, which is very respectable, and me to 20-10, which is also very respectable.
Well, dude, we're respectable gentlemen in the community.
ESPN, we're waiting on our fucking paychecks, by the way.
Also true.
Or DraftKings. You can send us some paychecks as well. I'll promote your shit on the show. I don't even care.
Same here.
Even though I haven't used it yet.
Yes, I'm all over it.
I've watched
my football stuff.
I've watched someone use it.
That's kind of fun.
It's kind of creepy, though, isn't it?
Well, you're in the creep chair watching them.
Yeah. Creep chair is kind of redundant for either of us.
Well, it's true.
Whatever chair we're sitting in is a creep chair.
Creep chair.
Yeah. All right, let's get to these football
It's like when a
picks.
president gets in a plane. It's Air Force One.
Exactly. Yeah. Or my pants. All right, so Sunday, we've got the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Cowboys Eags.
Yep. This time it's personal. I have no idea why.
Well, I mean, you got America's team.
Yeah.
And the shittiest, nastiest fans in football history.
It's a close
they threw
run.
Ice balls at Santa. They threw batteries.
They threw batteries at Santa.
They threw empty prescription pill bottles at Barry Bonds, which is funny.
That is kind of funny, actually. Yeah. Also, pretty awful, though.
That's why I'm rooting for Philadelphia in this game. Plus, I just can't stick up for Tony Romo.
Yeah.
I just don't have it in me.
If you did, then you could stick up for him, right?
True.
All right.
is it in you? It's Philly 31, Dallas 28. That's what I'm saying.
All right. You don't think Dallas is going to run the football all over Philly?
I don't think so.
I got a feeling this one's not going to be a defensive battle, which means it'll be a defensive battle. I'm going to say 27-24 Philadelphia. Because I don't think the Cowboys are playing as well lately.
Well,
although,
but it is America's team.
Which means they're about to hang 40 on them. Des Bryant's about to go for 3 touchdowns. Watch how smart I seem next week.
Perfect.
All right, next up we got the Monday Night Football game. No, not really. New Orleans Saints heading up to. Is it still Soldier Field, or do they call it something different now? I can't remember.
They still call it Soldier. Okay. Well, it's probably Soldier Field as presented by Rite Aid or something stupid.
Okay. Well, at Soldier Field as presented by Rite Aid, the New Orleans Saints will take on your Chicago Bears.
Chicago.
Who have already pretty much got the nail in the coffin.
Ugh. Boy, do they.
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't done the math, but I think they might be mathematically eliminated or really close if they aren't.
They probably are. They should just call it a day, go into hibernation.
Well, with the Lions and the Packers in their division, they're certainly not taking the division.
No.
And, I mean, they still could, I think, maybe, but it's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, I am a fan of the Bears.
Yeah.
So I'm going for them, Brian.
All right. Well, you got to at some point, right?
Chicago fever's going to strike New Orleans.
The Bears are finding Ebola. It's Eberla. Damn it, I couldn't say it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's terrible. I can't even get behind that.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Don't lie. You're lying.
I'm thinking the Saints they're going to Chicago.
Yeah.
They're going to eat a couple of bad sausages. And it's sausage fever.
They're going to have one of Tommy's heart attacks. That's just the sausage.
Just the sausage. I'm going to go Chicago.
Yeah.
17. Mm-hmm. Saints. 10.
No swamp fever for the Saints this week.
No swamp fever. You only get swamp fever when you go to New Orleans.
Or anywhere in the South where it's really hot and balmy.
Also true.
Because, swampy and what are you going to do?
Swamp ass and whatnot.
Unless you've packed your gold bond.
Well, true.
Then you have pancakes.
or you wear sweet ass Under Armour underwear.
Or that, I guess.
Yeah.
You and your fancy underbritches.
Yeah, I'm a fancy man.
Yeah, that's true. Boy. Boy, New Orleans has been kind of a shitty team this year, haven't they?
Yeah, this is really for a primetime game, it's really a shitty
game. Which means it'll probably turn into an excellent game. Like, honestly, if it turned out 17-10, it could be a really good game.
Yeah.
Or it could just mean that both teams have, 3 turnovers and the defense stops everybody, and then occasionally there's just some scoring,
Right.
Boy. All right. What the hell? I'm gonna roll the opposite way you on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 24 for the Saints and 17 for the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, I'll give you your 17 points. But all right, and lastly, we have for Thursday Night Football, and boy, what a barnstormer for a second week in a row.
Oh my God! If the manure barn caught on fire.
Oh man! Yesterday I looked and I was like, "Oh, I wonder who's playing," because I had forgotten.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "This schedule thing says, oh shit, I forgot the teams. Let me look real quick. Arizona at St. Louis," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm watching football tonight." Ugh. Anywho, next Thursday we got the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Another stinker of a game.
But just 2 not good teams.
No. I believe this is going to be a game of field goals.
I want this game to be like a 40-34 game or something. You know what I mean? I want it to be just a stormer,
just a blowout for
just
shootout.
Just no defense, just straight gas.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Tennessee, with their ginormous losing streak they're on, it's horrible.
Yeah, they're pretty
is
bad.
going to lose again. They're only kicking the ball in twice. 2 field goals. It's going to be 6-9.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much calling the game from last night.
I didn't watch
the final score of the game last night was Arizona 12, St. Louis 6.
Oh my god, it sounds so exciting.
Yeah.
I think I I almost just started beating off. It sounds so exciting. I'm going 9-6. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you.
Jaguars, I mean.
I'm going to take the Jaguars to win this game also. I'm going to give them a little more because they've scored some points in a few games. And Blake Bortles has been playing a little bit of quarterback and that Mettenberger kid or whatever for Tennessee he's had a rough go.
Right.
What do I think here? 13 for Jacksonville. Can I give Tennessee a touchdown?
They can barely do it themselves.
I'll give them 9. I'll say that somehow a football somehow finds its way through the uprights one more time for them. Basically, we're both calling the score from last night's game, so
yeah,
I'll go 13-9.
Well, I'm going to go with this week, Brian. Philly, Dallas. It's the
official salty language
lock of the week.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could hear it over the music.
I certainly could not. Which I'm very disappointed in. Ooh, that was really low.
God damn, sound effects being all different levels and shit.
Yeah.
So like I said, Philadelphia. Lock of the week.
So again, once again.
Take out your kidney, sell it.
That's right.
Put your kid on eBay.
I probably shouldn't take a kidney out.
You're probably right. It has betrayed you, though.
I know. I'm filtering gravel through mine. So. Dude, I'm producing my own rock salt.
That's pretty awesome.
Right? All I got to do now to melt snow is literally just go piss on it, and it melts in two ways.
Brian, we need some traction over here.
Yeah, fine. No longer is it just muscle piss. It'll also sound like you have a glass of muscle piss with ice.
It's like muscle piss with flavor crystals.
Yes. Patent pending, by the way.
Patent pending, yes.
Oh, how horrible.
Indeed.
The commercial, you just hear ice hitting the glass, you know? Or what you think is ice.
Yeah, it just sounds like someone pouring a bunch of dried beans into a glass. It's clink, 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 clink.
Right. And then, the sound of the pour over it and everything,
Yes.
God, that's awful.
It sure is. That's why we said it.
Disgusting and hilarious. Just the way we like it.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Perfect.
I'm going to take a look at last show notes real quick just to make sure there isn't anything that... Oh, real quick, I have a follow-up on something that people didn't hear us talk about.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Anonymous follow-up. We talked about the artist from Rat Queens being replaced.
Oh, yes.
For domestic abuse.
Because he was a wife beater or something.
Yeah. And they actually... they named his replacement this week, actually.
Is it another wife beater? It's a kid beater this time.
No. Oh, dang it. Oh, I don't have the link.
It can't be a dog beater because people would probably be even more up around if they beat a dog.
Yeah, they would. No, it's I can't think of the guy's name now. Anyways, I just wanted to bring up that they did replace the artist. They've named it. Named him.
It's Joe Comic Artist. Congratulations.
Obviously, our pal, friend of the show.
Yes.
Joe Comic Artist. So yeah. All right, that's it. I got it. Oh, no, I don't. I have one other thing, because we actually talked about movies for us to review.
Right. Yes, we did.
And people did not get to hear that.
It's also true.
They didn't get to hear our breakdown of the Flash and Arrow crossover.
Well, I don't remember what we said anymore.
Listen, I'm very disappointed, and I have to repeat one thing that I said.
All right.
And that it's when Barry got his feelings hurt and Ollie told him that, you don't get the girl when you're a superhero, basically. Or, I'm sorry, a hero. Flash just starts running, and my immediate thought was in my notes say, can the Flash outrun the Fields?
Oh, right.
So I just want that bit of brilliance out there for everyone.
I'll say Ollie's clearly never seen Peter Parker make out with his supermodel wife.
Yeah, right.
Or former. I don't even know if it's still a thing in the Spider-Man anymore.
I have no idea. I haven't been reading it.
Yeah, me neither.
So, all right. So let's talk about some things that are near and dear to our heart.
Are you talking about our Patreon account?
I certainly am. And how
you can become a loyal enthusiast.
Yes.
Much like our pals Dave, Clint, and Henno.
You can click on the Patreon link that's on the website on the right side? I believe.
Lower right side. It's got this sexy old school microphone there.
And naturally.
All like blow.
Right. And, help us to cover costs on the show, upgrade our phones. It's for the show's benefit, because then we can actually take decent pictures.
Right.
If we record things, it won't sound like it's me pissing over it.
Perfect.
We'll have... I won't type like I'm a goddamn caveman.
Yeah, you will. Stop drawing pictures on your phone.
I will not. That's what God gave me a flesh stylus for, goddammit.
Like, Brian, I don't know what this text of a stick figure chasing a stick mammoth is, but...
It's called art, son. You just got, I don't know, cultured.
Yeah, join the loyal army of enthusiasts.
The few.
Help out the show, though. Click the link.
Right.
And you can throw, a buck, a couple bucks, a lot of bucks.
Right. In the next few weeks, hopefully we got some really cool stuff lined up.
Yep. We got some good shit coming for the new year.
Right. So, maybe we'll start throwing some of that up to the enthusiasts first. Give them a little taste, Well, maybe we'll just give them the whole thing, because we don't play just the tip around here. We just go balls deep.
It's yeah.
Right. By just the tip, we mean tip of the balls. If you dig what I'm saying, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
If you don't want to become a Patreon sponsor,
jerk,
but also that's fine.
Jerk, right?
Because you can also shop on Amazon.
Yes,
through the Salty Language portal, because it allows us to wet our beak at no extra cost to you.
Right. And you're going on Amazon just being a savage, just clicking any buy button left and right.
It's true.
Also, I have a wish list on there
You're
if
like,
you really
Spike
just want to buy stuff.
In.
Right. That's on my wish list, actually.
Zipper mask? In.
Already got that. Don't buy that for me. Well, maybe.
Buckets and buckets of lube? In.
Can you imagine the shipping on that? Oh, it'd be horrible.
It would be.
Do you think
Thank
they cover
God
that?
you had all the lube so you could take the shipping.
Right. Do you think Prime covers that?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh. Here are your buckets and buckets of lubes. Excellent. Take them around back.
That's my new startup company. Buckets and buckets of lube.
Oh, all the things you can make, too, because you can make, like, grease from, mechanical things.
Yeah, exactly. So
Beard
like
Earls.
oil. And
right. Beard Earl.
5W30s and whatnot.
Right. Also anal lube.
Of course.
The bestseller, of course.
It would be, yeah.
Naturally.
You
can also help us out by going to, if you're going to be shopping on ThinkGeek, click the, we have a little linky do on the website there also that you can go through and help some brothers out. And that site's got all sorts of really cool stuff on it. Enough that I have to keep myself from going on the website, because otherwise I'll be like, oh, look, there go, I have no money again.
Just like that.
I really didn't need that Enterprise pizza cutter, but it's so cool.
But you did.
Yeah. Let's see, what else we got here? Well, I guess if you're going to saltylanguage.com, like good boys and girls, trying to stay on Santa's nice list, you could also click on the past episodes. You can, click on the different networks that we're part of, such as Musings of a Geek, Podgods Network, and Geek Life Radio. We're part of their collective over there.
We got our blogs, which I don't know if you saw for the Succotash show, added us to their blog section too.
Sweet.
Which is cool.
Which does mean that I need to get off my ass and start posting on the blogs. And plus what you were saying about putting the comics up. We need to make that a little more active. Let's see. What else is there? Oh, you can check out other shows in the network by clicking on the the banners for the networks. Go have a listen to some of those that are our pals.
Oh, speaking of that, God
from the neighborhood. God damn it! Out of fucking respect.
I got a shout out from the at the Comic Roast on Twitter, the Comic Roast Show. I got a shout out at Grampire because he retweets our shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a stand-up move.
That's right. It is. He's doing what the cool kids are doing.
Yeah, exactly. So go read some Deadpool, sir. Real ass dude at Grampire. G-R-A-M Pyre. P-I-R-E.
Just like the Rage record. Wait.
Yes.
I don't think that's right. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else?
I think I'm about spent.
Yeah, you are.
I know my I've been like housing coffee all night, but somehow it's wearing off.
Just wait till it hits your bowels. It's going to be a goddamn shit show.
It's kind of started. So it's been, thank God everyone's asleep.
You're going to have Pollock sheets.
The old Pollock sheets.
What happened in here, officer? He shit himself to death. God damn it, we've lost another one.
The serial shitter.
Oh, what a terrible, terrible power.
What an awful crime.
Yeah, right?
Jesus.
Somebody should have just given him 75 cents.
Exactly.
All right, I think that's going to bring us to a close here. We haven't done the joke that we talked about. Are you still going to do that?
Oh.
I think you should.
Yeah, probably should.
All right.
You ready? I need silence for this masterpiece.
I'm all set.
All right. Siri, image search, lemon party. Thank you.
That's for you, Neil and Annalise.
Or, I can't remember if it's Siri or Hey Siri. Since my fucking brick of glass over here that was awesome 3 years ago.
Right. Which, if we had more Patreon supporters, we could upgrade.
Exactly.
Instead of looking like Tiny Tim over here, but instead of crutches, we have, iPhone 4s.
Yeah, I know. Like a bunch of savages.
Seriously.
Yeah, jeez.
There's only so many times you can hit these things with rocks and they still work.
Yeah.
What a terrible development in technology.
It's true.
Okay. So I guess have a beer, you'll be fine. Unless you're me, then you should probably not have a beer.
I'll have it for you.
That's fair.
Stay salty. Unless you're watching your sodium intake, then watch it a little bit.
Right.
Have more pepper.
Right. Well, staying salty can lead to kidney stones, I've heard. So
there you go.
Apparently, I can't listen to any of our advice anymore.
No, you really can't. Well, you can go fuck yourself.
That's probably not even a good idea. It's probably going to burn like hell. I might shoot my eye out.
That's going for the Christmas special.
I kind of wish I had the "you'll shoot your eye out."
I'm working on it, goddamn.
No, I mean for right now. After saying that,
that one. Sorry, you're out.
I'll put it in post.
That'd be funny.
Mm-hmm. I certainly won't. So we'll probably see you next week.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Hey listeners, this is Jedi from over at Geek Dig, the second sexiest podcast on the network, and proud Salty Language Patreon. These guys do a hell of a job, don't they? Well, go help them out. Not right now, you gotta finish listening to this episode, but as soon as you're done listening, here's what you do. Go to saltylanguage.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, and click the link that says, I want to be a supporter. From there, it's up to you. So, go back to listening. Remember, when it comes time to take over the world, make sure you're on the geek side.